to kind of look at events logs in Windows, more just to how to get them. That can be just so useful to find when you have issues. But let's start off just by being able to find them and all. So going to want you to use the events viewer to show me some events, but then I'm going to have you use PowerShell to extract those logs. And yet another script that you get to pull together and integrate to make things go. So I'm not going to show you, just, oh, here, type after me. Show you a couple of things, but you ought to be able by now to take these hints and make the script. But let's just talk about events and events logging. So if I get into my Windows Server VM, Linux has them too. They're in a slightly different way to do. To me, Microsoft has better on-screen presentation and management, and Linux users say, well, that's the problem with Windows, kind of, and I say, well, that's an advantage. But at any rate, if you just go and start typing event after pressing the start button, the event viewer and view event logs get you to the same place. It's something that looks like this, and this is an overview and summary. We have some errors that kind of went on. We're not looking right now for any errors, but sometimes when you have an issue, then you can look in the error log, and I've just double clicked on that one. Yeah, all right. So something with the Windows Defender today. Okay, and I'm trying to think, did I turn off the Windows Defender in this VM? Sometimes I do, because it's a nuisance. And this one, yeah. So a couple of things. So I've got a couple of times when it didn't update Windows Defender. So those are summary. Those were error. So error log events can be warning. They can be information, audit success, audit failure, yeah, great. So there are things that happened. Usually we're interested in things like things that happened with application and things that happened with security, right? I'm trying to do application and security events. Good. That's just chose a couple just for the fun of it. So if I kind of over here and opened up Windows Log, there's the last application events. And so, software protection services stopped. Software scheduled. Okay, so I don't know. This is, it looks like software protection is something that kind of clicks on and off about every so many seconds to make things go. Initialization. So there's a lot going on here that would take a little bit of time. Well, why does that come on and off? What is it doing? A more advanced operating systems course would get into that. I sorted it by the this level just to be able to see, there's a lot of errors that are occurring. Again, if you double click, it's the namespace does it. So some things will be ignored. It has to do the Windows messaging integration. We're not here. And if you really, you can't always get rid of all of them, but you can spend some time figuring out, okay, why is that? Sometimes it's a provisioning thing, some warnings, profile notification for. So when you are looking for an error, though, quite often it happens to be, maybe you're looking for something that happened in SQL Server or a particular program. It was an application error. Okay, that's not the application I was looking for, but I had an error in my application, and it might go in the log. Typically, when you land, you get them in date time order. So this is the most recent application event. Same thing, security. A lot of the security is log on and log off, right? And you might say, well, gosh, nobody hardly logs on and logs off. But even these services, kind of when you're working with a web page, SQL Server, all those worker accounts, they have log-ons and log-offs too. I don't know much there's in the system log, but so we did some warning here about IIS. For some reason, it couldn't get to that directory, and and done with. So we're not fixing the log, but I think I asked you for a picture of app events and security events. Yeah, and it's just get there and okay, I know where to get there. If you end up being a server or system admin, then when you have something bad happen or you might need to scrutinize these, then it goes. So get a picture of this and get a picture of that. Great. Well, that's good. You can kind of go and use the kind of use the GUI to look at things, but sometimes you need to work programmatically. You want to inspect. There's thousands of entries. I just, didn't kind of go there, but we're talking tens of thousands of entries, and you're looking for something that happened to SQL Server or a particular application. So you want to search through them, and so not surprisingly, the logs can be used in scripting. So there is a get event log, PowerShell that okay, and that's getting me the application log. And I wasn't counting, but boy, that was a whole lot of them. And we can also then get from okay, I got access not allowed. You're in your own VM here, so I think what we might have to do is when we go into PowerShell ISE, and in your own VM, you can run that as an administrator. See if that helps us to get. Okay, so we needed to go in with administrative authority to be able to get that log. Don't do this in the course VM where you don't have administrative. But that kind of went on and on and on. So there is this idea of being able to say, okay, I just want to see the last 20 or last 100. You could search them, but I am doing something where you're going to get the last 20. I'm asking you to kind of merge these guys, right? That is, I want to see security events mixed with well, if I have to put these in parentheses, I know that's my habit. And you could say, oh, since a particular time we're doing the news 20, but that plus inside, the first, some of these are from the application log, the second are from the other log, so that kind of idea of, oh, I can merge these, can merge two lists and get a combined log, just because maybe I'm trying to what's happened in the last day. From all the logs. That's the context for that particular assignment. So I showed off how to do merge them. You can use merge concatenating, and you can export into CSV, and right. So you can pipe these things. Right, piping means something like try to get rid of that last thing. We'll just take this one, piping. Right, so it says, oh, gosh, I know there's this idea that I can export into a CSV, and for that to work out, you're going to need to give it a path. Oh, one thing before I do any of that, I am noticing that my working directory is all right, just back here. I notice that I'm down in System 32, so I want to get in my Documents folder, because I'm creating a file, and it's nice. I won't have to tell it exactly where to go if I am in the right folder where I want this to happen. And so now if I do something like get an event log, you can pipe that, or anything, you can pipe into export. And then you can put a file name, you can put a whole path, but since I am located in documents here, this my CSV is going to end up in documents. I didn't get anything on the screen, but if I now open up documents, then I moved over to administrator, so users, administrator. I think I was logged in ST Schultz, but I put all that in administrator, so just proving this there. There it is. And with Notepad. Yep, there you have. It kind of spread them out, didn't do them as a column, but I got all my events. So those are kind of the nips. You know how to look for events through the GUI, and then you know how to maybe extract for a particular range and put them in a file. That should just get you down the road on that task. Take care.